Hey, Vinny.
Yeah, Cardiff?
Do you want to go subreddit surfing? I wanna go subreddit surfing. Grab your phone, let's go subreddit surfing. Cause I wanna go subreddit surfing with you. We talk to folks from different subreddits because sometimes we just don't get it. We explore all kinds of subreddits. Subscribe now or you will regret it. Do you want to go subreddit surfing? I wanna go subreddit surfing. Grab your phone, let's go subreddit surfing. Cause I wanna go subreddit surfing with you. Vinny and Cardiff go subreddit surfing. Mondays at 8 we are subreddit surfing. 10 is too late for subreddit surfing. So be here now for subreddit surfing today.
Aloha and surfs up. Welcome to another episode of Subreddit Surfing. I'm your host, Vinny, and joining me as always, it's my best spud. It's Cardiff Electric.
That's me.
There he is, folks. Isn't he great?
I'm still always surprised to be your best bud.
I'm so happy to see you here tonight because it's part 2, Cardiff, of the Win the Producer Job contest.
Yes.
And that's it.
This is it.
We have
2 of
candidates.
2.
That's right. We have candidates, and I'm very excited to see what happens. I'm going to bring up our first candidate in just a minute, but first I want to tell you how we're going to decide all of this. And you know who it comes down to, Cardiff?
God.
Maybe divine providence, if we believed in such things around here.
If a lightning bolt happens to strike one of our producer candidates, can we agree that he will be eliminated from competition?
Well, of course.
Okay, good. Good.
Now, Cardiff, the big kahunas get to pick, right, buddy?
Yes. Yes.
The big kahunas are going to get to pick. What's going to happen is at the end of the show today, I'll let you know when I do it. I'm going to click post, and when I do, we are going to have a poll up in our community section on this channel where you can vote for who you think should be the next producer and the first producer of Subreddit Surfing. It will be Jimmy the Lip, who did our episode last week, did a fabulous job. Or it's going to be this man, ladies and gentlemen. Contestant number 2. Welcome to the show, Dillon from somewhere. Hey, Dillon.
But sorry, Dillon, I have to interrupt your introduction. I just want to clarify to everybody that this is Vinny's Trump Republican mentality, where he thinks you should have to pay to vote. So you do need to be a big kahuna. So if you do want to pay to vote, hit that join button.
Hey, listen.
Now.
Why would we just open up voting on this to anybody? They could try to sabotage us. I want the people who really are members of this channel and like what we do here to have their say. Now, stop interrupting Dillon. Hi, Dillon.
Hi, Dillon.
Hello. Thank you for having me, guys.
We're excited to have you tonight. Now, Dillon, we asked you to prepare an episode for us, and boy, are you a thorough gentleman.
Yes, sir. I am a stickler for details. I can fix those details for you that need to be shined up. Boy, I'm just stuttering John with all my turns of phrase that have never been heard before, aren't I?
Well, you also were rattled by Jimmy the Lip's performance last week. You have to admit, it was a stellar episode.
Yes, I was absolutely panicked when you guys turned this from an interview process to a voting process. I just ran in a circle screaming, "Oh no," for about 5 days before I got any work done.
Yes, no, good. That's what we want to see, how you perform under such grand pressure.
Annie Orion, she's been a member for 1 month. She says, "Aloha, big kahunas. Your vote doesn't matter in America, but it matters here. A vote for Dillon is a vote for living in sin. Go vote and make it count."
Thank you, Annie. And Annie will be re-debuting her show this week. Her and I are recording an episode of What Is This Game? Talking about Civilization 6.
All right.
Civ 6, as they say in the hood.
Yes. Those who know call it Civ 6.
We have another big kahuna just joined, Jimmy the Lip. I have a feeling someone will be voting for themselves. I wonder who that might be.
Mind you, joining this late in the competition doesn't bode well for Jimmy the Lip. Somebody check Dillon from somewhere's Big Kahuna status.
Yeah, somebody find out. Dillon, are you a big kahuna? Yay or nay, sir? What say you?
Yay. I have re-upped my Big Kahuna status.
Good.
I was one of those people, unfortunately, that didn't re-up while you were on hiatus, but once you came back.
That's absolutely fine. I didn't expect anybody to, and for those of you stuck around, your vote counts the most, even though it counts the same as everyone else's. But in my heart, the most.
And that's
All
a
right.
giant heart, people.
It's a big old heart. I was told I have a good heart. Doctors disagree, but I was told that by a friend. Now, Dillon, friend of the show, tonight's producer, tell everybody what subreddit you chose for us to surf.
Tonight, we are surfing the Polyamory subreddit. This is something I have a certain insight into, and booking a guest for the show, Jimmy the Lip can attest, is harder than you would think. So in case my guest, she is booked, she's supposed to be here 15 minutes after, but just in case, I did pick something that I can help fill in and give information about.
Now,
Polyamorous weirdo.
Well, I think that you're burying the lead there for everybody because Dillon, you identify as polyamorous. Yes? No? Maybe?
Yes, sir. I was introduced with the concept seriously in 2016. Took me a year to wrap my head around it. Met the right women who already had a husband and were looking for, as they call it, a meta. You've got the polyamory glossary, and Carl was confused earlier. Polyamory is not polygamy. It's different than swingers. So there is a lot to sort out in this polyamory. What is and what is not a polyamorous relationship?
I feel like polyamorous is a term that is bandied about quite often these days. I feel like it's one that I'm hearing a lot more and more about, and more people are learning what it is and choosing that for themselves. Now,
I jumped on the bandwagon, I guess, what is that, 5-6 years ago? So, yay, come along on the bandwagon, folks. Nuts to monogamy.
All right. Well, he definitely has an opinion on the subject, ladies and gentlemen. Carl and I were talking about this on the creep off for just a minute or so, and one of the things that I said, my initial gut reaction to this, Cardiff, the thought of polyamory is, I've been married for 14 years. That's monogamy is the prison that I live in and day out. Same way you do as well, right, Mr. Potato?
Yes.
Yes.
I wouldn't call it a prison, but yes.
Okay.
Please
What would you
continue.
call it? Hellscape?
I'm not allowed to say what I call it. Please move on.
Yes, sir. You got it. I don't want you to get beaten again.
Yes.
But I feel like in a lot of ways, the concept is similar to socialism in the fact that, and Carl said it really well today and succinctly, you have to take all of the human emotion out of it to make it work. From the surface looking, from the outside looking in, you feel like a lot of feelings would be dug up if you're trying to have a relationship with multiple people, especially if you're in a relationship with someone and you decide to explore this for the first time. You would think that a lot of very strong feelings would come up, resentment, jealousy. These are things that I feel like people who choose to do this and do it successfully have gotten past. Am I right, Dillon?
Jealousy was the biggest thing. Yeah. In that year, it was getting used to talking to your partner about their other partners. That's just part of it. And communication is the biggest thing because polyamory, the literal term, multiple loves. You are in a relationship with multiple people. You have emotion for the people you are in these relationships with, which is the difference between the overarching ethical non-monogamy. Swingers are ethically non-monogamous. Polyamorous people are ethically non-monogamous, but those are two different things because the swingers are just in it for the fun. Polyamorous people are having actual relationships with multiple people, being open and honest about it. And you're absolutely right. Of couples have to talk about this for a long time. You cannot just dive into this. Both partners also need to be involved. If one is all about it and the other one isn't, that's just another sign that you maybe should probably get a divorce if you're on that separate side of things. Like forcing someone to be in an open relationship, a really bad idea. And at that point, it may be time for the discussions of, well, looks like we may be going our separate ways. It's not a marriage counselor. It is a different lifestyle altogether. And yeah, if you were to start talking about it seriously today, you and your wife should talk about all the situations, all the scenarios for a long time in order to get comfortable.
Time for that, though, and who wants to have that conversation?
Roll the dice. Am I right, Vinny?
No.
Is
I
that
mean, God, this conversation that you have to have, like walking into this, like I said, 14 years in here. I'm 14 years in the clink, Dillon. And if I were to have all these conversations to get to a point of going through every scenario,
you could celebrate your 20th wedding anniversary.
So
Yeah.
hold on, Vinny. I want to ask you. Just you put yourself in this situation, so I'm gonna grill you on this. You said there'd be a ton of emotions that would need to be removed for this to work.
mm-hmm.
Now, would the bulk of those emotions be jealousy because she's got somebody else, or would
Yes.
it be you managing the other relationships that you're involved in?
Yes.
Ah, got it. So you're normal.
Yeah.
So it'd be like if you could be. So Dillon, what's it called when the husband is polyamorous but the wife isn't? What's that called?
That actually exists. I find that really bizarre for the people where one person is polyamorous and the other person is monogamous. But some people have made that work, and that I do find weird. Apparently, the monogamous person gets over that jealousy factor, but is just fine with life as it is. And that's also something like opening up your relationship. The jealousy with just one partner succeeding and the other one doesn't. It would be very unlikely that you're both equally as successful in dating other people. So that's another hurdle that you'll have to get over as well.
And in that way, like polygamy, where there's one husband and multiple wives, it's not like the wives get to be polygamous.
Yeah, that is a one-way multiple person relationship. Polyamory is always.
Now, are you, or maybe again, you're going to give me another subdivision here, but are you involved with both members of the couple or just the one member of the couple, or either or?
Because that is a great question, because that's what worries me is now I got to talk to more people. Now I have to communicate with more people about
who's this guy
going on with me. Yeah. What's the deal with that? Do these people live separate lives, or what's going on here?
Very often, and every situation that I've been in, I've been with someone who's also with someone else. They've had a primary partner, a nesting partner, and many times, well, not many times, but when it's necessary.
So hold on, I got to go back. A nesting partner?
Yes.
That's
a primary partner or a nesting partner
is home.
The person you're spending your life with, that you are coming back to, and there is hierarchical non-monogamy, which is what I prescribe to, and non-hierarchical, like relationship anarchy. To me, it just makes sense to know your role and have it hierarchical, have a system where I am not your primary partner. That is this person, or maybe neither of us have a primary. We just realize that we enjoy each other's company, but for the long term, we are not. And that's one big thing that got me into it was a woman who I really was attracted to at the bar, but I fit in her life not at all. So once I opened it up and she was like, yeah, me and my boyfriend have a don't ask, don't tell. Let's go. Hooray.
Interesting. Okay.
So she was doing it without actually doing it. There are some people, being Los Angeles at the time that I was living in, that have that don't ask, don't tell, and just a variation of it, basically, where they they don't want to have the conversations of your other relationships, where after a while I actually found those to be nice conversations of finding someone she really gets along with, that fits into her life, because I don't fit into your life long term, but this is really fun for a few months.
Okay. So in a lot of ways, you kind of go into these, looking to see what happens. But if you have a nesting partner already, you're kind of just going out there for the fun of it. Yeah.
It's not supposed to be that way. Every relationship is supposed to be emotional. You're getting more into swinger talk when you're talking about going out there and having fun.
Because it seems to me like when you're talking about people that are nesting together, it means, they're cohabitating or whatever, and they have something kind of serious going on. So if you have that and you're choosing to go out and pursue and creating more relationships, that has to be either about the person that you're with is not meeting the need at some level, and they're fine with you finding somebody else who does meet that need at whatever level it is, or you want to have some fun, right? It's got to be one of those two things, kind of.
Yeah, that's actually something of that a lot of polyamorous people will tell you, that asking one person to be that everything to you is a bit much to ask of a single person. And it's very logical to go outside of the marriage to fit every single need you have, since it's very unlikely that you and your wife, your nesting partner, have every single thing in common. So just filling in those holes of going out and being weird together, where where your nesting partner isn't that type of weird.
So can I ask? And again, I want to get back to you too. I want to kind of talk about how you got into this, but we're going down this road of kind of what it is. But now, is it common, or would it be common where that the partner goes out looking for a partner of the opposite sex of his current partner? So like I'm with a woman, I'm going to go out and my polyamorous relationship is going to be with a dude, or is that kind of a different? Like, is that kind of something they'd be looking for outside of that?
And I've actually known people who have got offended over their husband letting them go out and see other women, but then realizing that he lets them go out to see him because they see their relationship as less than, and that's something that bothered them. That you are important to me, she isn't important to me. You are discounting her. You're only allowing me to see women because you see that less than, and these are important people to me.
Okay. Well, then
in fact, I find bisexuality boring if you're only going to be with if you're not going to be non-monogamous. When I hear someone say that they're into all genders and you're stuck with this one gender, really? You're not seeing multiple people if you like all genders?
All right. That's one way to look at things. Let's take a second and check in what's going on in the chat and with some of these super chats. Ryan Harrelson, thanks for the $5. He says, if I become a big kahuna, can I grow a second testicle instead of 3 inches of length?
I will check with legal. It's possible, though. I know we had that option. We just have to figure out if we can turn it on or off.
We will restore you, my son.
Yes.
I say yes.
Again,
Eugene,
check with legal. Hello, Eugene.
The Bichon Frise became a YouTube member.
It's nice to see you, Eugene. He's following me everywhere. Creepy dog.
Jeff Spangler, thanks for the $1.99 communication. This is the worst part of a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
My wife seems to hate it.
Stay monogamous. You need lots of communication to be polyamorous and not just ruin a relationship.
Victim of Dillon, I don't know what this is about, has just become a big kahuna. Dillon, anything you want to tell us?
No, we don't do criminal background checks for producers. They can do whatever they want in their private life.
I do feel bad for that victim of Dillon. That Dillon spells their name with a second I, which is the incorrect way of spelling it, but people like to throw it in there. That bastard spelling his name all wrong.
Dillon.
Dyllan is acceptable.
All right, Radish Diff, thanks for the $2. And Radish Diff, thank you for gifting a few memberships earlier, I believe.
Thank you, Radish Diff.
That was very kind of you. Dillon already brought more than 69 times the fun. Hey!
Heyo.
Now.
Mm-hmm,
Hey, now. So I guess maybe we should take this time to dive into the subreddit for a bit, folks. Carp, does that sound agreeable to you?
It does.
All right, well, take it away.
So I think we'll put some of these questions to you, Dillon. You know, there are a lot of the stuff that you pulled for this episode are questions for the subreddit. This is a going through this subreddit it's very people with a lot of questions. And it's people responding to that. It's not a lot of it's not people, a subreddit I'm used to. It's not a lot of shit posting.
Yeah.
and memes.
Actual information, believe it or not, on Reddit.
Actual information, people being cordial to each other. Like, I don't know, I don't know what to say about polyamory, but they're polite people. And they're very helpful.
I expected to see things like, have you seen my husband? Like things like that on there. But nope, you guys are right. It's generally a lot of information and polite talk. So far, the polyamorous, bunch of class acts from what I can tell.
They're all going to hell, but yes, they're nice people.
For their sins.
Yes, for their sins.
But, they're having a good time.
Fun place down there.
Yes. So one post here that you pulled up. What are some good practices and basic ethics of polyamory that newbies may not know? And I think you had Chimmy Chub Chub's response highlighted.
There's a couple of comments I came across. Chimmy Chub Chub is very knowledgeable.
So his rules that he put out there: having rules against falling in love only leads to tears. So I guess he's saying here, let it be. You fall in love, but don't try and put some borders around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the whole point, is that we are experiencing relationships outside of our relationships that are also emotional. So there will be love involved.
If opening an established monogamous couple, both partners must enthusiastically consent. So now you're just a husband and wife. You've never done this. Now you're having this conversation, going to this. What he's saying is both really, really want to do it. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, you can't. Like one of the guys from Silicon Valley came out and said, polyamory is great. It saved my relationship. And then about a year or two later, his wife came out and said, I hate my life. I didn't want this. So you might as well get a divorce if one of you want it and one of you don't, because one of you is going to be happy, not both of you.
Yeah, I feel like this is a really good way to blow up a relationship if both members are not completely 100% on board with it, because there's going to be regret from one of them if they're not.
Yeah, for me, I will not date a couple just opening up their marriage. Here in somewhere when I recently moved here, there was someone just opening up their marriage. They really ticked a lot of boxes for me and what I'm looking for a partner, but just brand new opening up their marriage. And yep, I did find out that they got a divorce not long after. I would have been ground zero for trying to save a sinking ship.
Oh, dude, you would have ended up being a witness in the court case. You would have been a whole thing.
Yeah, I would have had to testify. Can they see their kids this often? So I do regret that. She ticked a lot of boxes, and I wanted to go out with her, but the situation was just wrong of them just opening it up. And yep, it was.
So it's interesting the way you said something before when you were talking to them. It was they. You didn't want to get involved with them. Like
it was only her, but the whole situation.
No, I know, but would sometimes the other partner be a factor in choosing whether or not you get involved with the woman?
Yes, that is called the veto. Very appropriately, the other partner should have a veto power to some degree. Maybe not. Maybe some couples say, no, you cannot have a veto power to who I feel feelings for. But that is very common and I've definitely been vetoed by things that were going great, and then just never hear from two women in the past year. That
They
just
vetoed you, and their other significant other said, "No, not this guy."
it must have been like things were just fantastic, and then I never hear from them again. So the husband must have been like, and it can be many reasons. Maybe it's because it's like this guy is better looking than I am. And yeah, he was fucking ugly. They asked me to be part of a threesome, actually, but I couldn't keep my wiener up around something that ugly, even on separate sides.
Or on the same side. We don't judge.
I'd prefer separate. Have to work up to the same side. Then you're touching.
So what you're saying is it was all the other people's fault.
I don't know. She didn't give me any input. All I can assume is that the husband gave the veto on me. It certainly could have been something. I'm just going with what evidence points me towards. Is it seems like I was vetoed after things were going nicely.
Okay.
This is the thing where this completely loses me, and it's the complexity, the scheduling, the amount of work involved in all this, like to manage all this. I'm even thinking it's hard enough. I mean, I haven't dated in a long time. I've been married for a long time, and I haven't dated. So while I was married, congratulations. I'm going to pat myself on the back a little bit. I have not dated while I've been married, but I couldn't, from what I hear, it's hard to even find one person that wants to be with you. And now you're going out to find a second and a third. Like it's just, and then scheduling them. So his point here is scheduling after that too. And it's just keeping a schedule, and it just seems exhausting.
There is something to be said about, when you find somebody that you click with enough to, let's say, either marry them or nest with them and be in this very, very committed monogamous relationship, to just risk that, because you never know when you start to have the conversation that's going to be a hard one if you're already currently in a relationship. So what other posts do we have on here, Cardiff? Let's keep moving.
Yeah, let's keep moving. So this next post, what are your boundaries, guidelines, rules, agreements, etc. with your primary partner? So now, have you, in your experience, have you had a primary and you were going out and being someone else's secondary, or were you always kind of in and out of other people's relationships?
I'm the
somewhere.
Yeah, I'm the in and out type. I moved across the country 2 times in the past 10 years on a whim. So I've been very much just doing the solo thing. And when I stumbled into polyamory, it just made sense because solo journey. You'll hear a lot of polyamorous people use the word journey. I'm on my solo journey, and come along if you'd like. But most likely, I've had very successful 3-6-month relationships, and yeah, don't really strive for more, because it reached a natural ending, and we were able to say, let's go our separate ways.
So you wouldn't be one that's looking for a nest. That's the right way to put, like a nesting partner.
I haven't been looking for a nesting partner, no. And one of the problems is finding someone who is just so perfect for you. That's she already had a primary, and it absolutely broke me. Actually, I'll actually go in a little further. This woman was the one that really got me into polyamory, pushed me over to the fence. She was a webcam girl and a nanny, and she had a primary partner. And after about 3 months of us being together, she closed it down, went monogamous. So to me, it was like, you've been teaching me out of this textbook of polyamory, and now you're burning it. What do I do with it? And I decided this is for me, even if this isn't for you. And yeah, just finding someone so perfect that hit so many boxes, and that like ruined me for nesting partners, because
like that was the one you fell for. You really fell for her. She was going to be the one.
Well, she wasn't going to be the one. She already had a primary, and we had it locked in that I was going to be a comet, also known as a satellite, and that is like the best type of polyamorous relationship because you basically put it on pause. We do not live in the same place anymore, so let's see each other 2, 3, 4 times a year. We decided on 4 days. 3 days wasn't enough. 5 days had the potential to be too much. But yeah, she's actually called me back a few times in the past years, really regretting that she shut it off that quick because we really hit it off. We had unfinished business just being together for so short a time. And that is something on my end of not having a primary. I am putting myself out there to be hurt if I do get that attached.
Well, that's
And
what I
they're
was going
like,
to say to you. The more relationships that you are involved in, the more opportunities for heartbreak, my friend.
Absolutely.
Now, here's my question for you, Dillon. I'm trying to kind of piece this together. You've been in a lot of different relationships while the person that you were dating was in other relationships. Have you been in multiple relationships yourself?
Yes,
Well,
the most at once was 3, too many times over the past 6 years, but 3 was the max I hit. That was a fun time. That was the nanny webcam girl I mentioned, a rocket scientist. That was fun. She worked at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, and the other one I mentioned earlier, who I knew from the bar. I did not fit into her life at all. But we had a nice time having some dates together for a few months.
all right. So this is for you, man. This is the path you have chosen and are good with. You don't have any regrets on it. You don't feel like maybe it's cost you in any way.
Well, right now I'm what they would call a solo polyamorous, and it really doesn't make a difference. The one of the big things is I got into polyamory because of kink. I was exploring my kink side, and it was the polyamorous women who were open to it. And that's another thing of asking one person to be everything. Having your weird ass kinks sometimes doesn't mix with those. One of my most successful relationships, she was very vanilla. So that was a thing of like, you're not into this thing that I really would like to be part of my life, but I love you being part of my life. And that was closer to 4 months.
Okay.
So yeah, not long, but meaningful. So like that's how I see so many couples who have been together for a long time, and they're together just because they're together. They put so much stock in that, and sometimes the quality is just so poor in decades long.
All right. Well, lay it on me. Tell me the truth. I mean, if you're dating 3 people at once, or you're in a relationship with 3 people at once, if you really had to think about this, what do you think the max number you could handle of a relation, and the max number of relationships you could handle at once, Dylan? Do you think any sane person?
It was 3. It was 3. There was definitely no going above 3 for me.
Okay. What were the difficulties you started finding when you were dating 3 people at once?
Putting one over the other. Like you want to treat everyone, as equally as you can, and really showing more time to the other, and especially since I was not the primary of anyone. The primary, as mentioned, that's your life partner. Whereas, just keeping everyone and being fair, not blowing one off when they really want to look for you to see the other one again. And that does get hard because you don't love every single person the same. So being unfair to the others for the one I felt the strongest emotion for was the biggest difficulty, I'd say, for me.
So, Dillon, is this something you see doing the rest of your life? Or do you see at some point you're going to want to slow down, maybe only juggle one? Like, do you see this, or do you see just doing this until
I see this as a lifestyle, and putting it up front, as you guys are talking about, of introducing it to a marriage many years in, introducing it as, okay, I'm not seeing anyone, but this is what I would prefer, because asking you to be my everything is a lot. And there's certain things. Here's my list of kinks. I'm imagining I would be surprised if you're hitting all of these intellectual, these kinky, these emotional targets that I would that each of us would like to hit. So yeah, since we're not seeing each other, we're fine together now. But just know, in the future, this will be something that I'm interested in, even though right now it doesn't matter because
Okay.
it's just the two of us.
Okay. So can we all just agree that if you want to have a polyamorous lifestyle, it's best to start it when you're not in a relationship?
That's the easiest to come into it with knowing that this is the type of person that you are, and it does help some marriages, but there are just so many marriages that are looking at this as a lifeboat in a doomed situation, and they should get nowhere near it.
Now,
Different for every couple.
So now you said that the gist of it was not one woman could check off all the boxes that you had.
It would be impressive. Yes, that would be impressive.
But what if one did? Would that be enough for you then, or do you think it's still you need to?
Yeah, it would
slut
be
around. I mean,
I
be
would
polyamorous.
I would be satisfied, but that's just something I would want introduced from the beginning of like, hey, we know how life goes, and sometimes you meet someone who really gets you going, really gets your dick hard and your vag wet, and sometimes it's like the comet. We're going to be in each other's lives once a year, 2 times a year or so, and that's being open to that there are people out there in the world that are really going to get me going, so let's be aware and be open to having that happen every so often.
Now, are there just dates you go on with? Like, do you actually, or is it all just sex? Because I'm just envisioning we've got 44 hours here. Let's just get right to it. Or is it, you go on dates? You go to movies with these women? Like, is it a normal, and I hate to say normal, but like you know what I mean? Like a stereotypical relationship.
Yeah, it's a regular relationship in that aspect, that we're going out on dates. We have sex sometimes. Sometimes we just sit on the couch and watch TV. So yeah, everything normal except for those extra bits where we go our separate ways.
You know, I have so many thoughts here, and I think Hack Ride of all people really nailed it. Testosterone is a blessing and a curse. Yeah. Okay. So Dillon, 2016, you were introduced to this lifestyle. So now we're talking at this point 8 or 9 years, right? 8 years, roughly.
Yeah, let's call it 8, 7, 8. Yeah.
It's more closer to 7, but yes.
I'm bad at math, guys.
Asking me to do math that's not in 5 or zeros, that takes a few seconds, man.
Yeah, give me a break. There was a 9 in there. That's a problem. So I guess what I want to ask you is, how many different people did you meet that were into polyamory just naturally through your everyday life? Or did you have to go seek these people out through some type of website or things like that?
Many just through karaoke. That was surprisingly many hits through karaoke with finding polyamorous women. A good amount of the swipey apps. I used to like OkCupid a lot more. Well, actually, they're the only one that has ethical non-monogamy as an option. Twitter just introduced that, but you can't limit that, because I would prefer to be searching for people with this weird preference.
Wait, Twitter has that on their profile?
You could turn that on as a search option for people now?
On OkCupid, you have been able for years.
Oh, you said on Twitter.
Tinder. I'm sorry, Tinder.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, is there
Tinder?
Is there something I'm not aware about on?
All right, Elon, whatever.
Twitter. Okay. So the post I just had up though too. What are your boundaries, guidelines, rules, agreements, etc. with your primary? But I'm going to ask you, Dillon, from somewhere. What are some of the, strangest, most interesting, kind of off-ball rules or boundaries that have been placed in a relationship you were in by the other partner? I assume.
Most I didn't see their primary partner, their metamor, as it's known. The other guy. There was, yeah, for the most part, it was just like, we'll have conversations about your other partner, and it was only one. Yeah, it's only one I can think of that I met their partner.
Oh, I didn't.
And
No, I didn't mean that met. Just where there was the relationship you got into, there was a strange rule or boundary in place.
Yeah,
that
like
likely came from them. Like they said they didn't want her doing butt stuff. Like just that's where I'm going. Not that you met them.
yeah, nothing coming to mind of weird rules that I've come across.
none of them. Like, you never been with one girl and you're like, hey, I'd like to take you to the zoo to go on. She's like, well, I'm not allowed to go to zoo without my nesting partner. Nothing weird.
No, nothing weird like that with me. I wish I had something to present to that question. But me personally, yeah, I have actually heard that with other people. Of there is a specific place that this is so emotionally significant to us. Do not go there with other people.
Nothing. No sex on a moonlight beach. I was hoping for some romantic tale. Dillon from somewhere. Okay, Dillon from somewhere.
He took you to Brandini's Pizza, son of a bitch.
That's our place.
That's our
Brandini's is where we had our first date.
Is there anything like that where, some locations are off limit, places, they where they won't go because it's somewhere they're connected with their primary?
I have secondhand heard of that. Personally, no, but yeah, secondhand through other people that are polyamorous have had rules like that.
All right. Well, I mean, every person, like we said, we've established every person that gets into this has different reasons for getting into it, has different rules for how they will maneuver it, and is looking for different things in different people. So there's no polyamorous relationship that's exactly like another one. So I guess what I think we should do is, Cardiff, is let's start diving into some of these Reddit posts and read about some of the difficulties that people have had in their pursuits of polyamorous relationships and see if maybe we could learn something through those.
Okay. So wait, I'm going to do this one first because there is Dillon from somewhere did lay this out very well. So I'll ask him to explain the difference between relationship anarchy and non-hierarchical poly, because the next question is going to connect to that. So what are those? What's non-hierarchical? So hierarchical, you said there's the nesting, right?
Yeah, and that's what I prescribe to. I like to know my role, know that I am here not as your primary. Maybe as I've said, I've done ones before where we go into it knowing damn well we don't have a long future, but we have a great present to work with.
Okay, so
that's non-hierarchical. Yeah, there are no roles. They're supposed to be very equal with everyone across the board, and I find that difficult. I have different levels of emotion for different women that I date. So I do not prescribe to the non-hierarchical, the relationship anarchy people. They go by the rule of like, we're nothing. Just because we hung out, just because we fucked, it doesn't mean anything. Just because we went out on a date, unless otherwise said, doesn't mean anything else other than we're hanging out and we're buddies. And sometimes we fuck. So just no order whatsoever coming into it. A relationship anarchist, we expect nothing from each other beyond the minimum of being friends unless otherwise said.
It's amazing though. Like, how do they I would say that's a very niche group of people. How do they all find each other? It's amazing. But that they're like, what do you do if you feel that way? If that's the way you want to live and you're in Iowa, it's gotta be hard to find.
A lot easier in Los Angeles it was for me to find just the density of a big city. I miss a big city. I want to move to the next big city over my next leap.
Yeah.
So
You don't have a lot of options in the middle of the country for some of these shenanigans.
Nope, somewhere is up and coming, but it's not quite a nice big city yet.
All right.
So this post here is non-hierarchical polyam with a nesting partner. So is that then a contradiction?
I find this one weird. That's why I pulled it. A non-hierarchical relationship with someone that you're living with.
Yeah.
Like, it sounds by the definition that it can't be. Just on the base of the fact that you're cohabitating. I do find non-hierarchical and relationship and anarchy much more bizarre than even me myself with polyamory and hierarchy.
So I have 2 partners and I consider my relationship non-hierarchical. However, I am recently living with one of my partners and I do not live with the other. I recognize that despite my best efforts, cohabitation comes with privileges and introduces a power dynamic. Again, this is the amount of thought you have to put into this. It's so exhausting. I'm tired.
Yeah, that's why this is like, it's got to be worth it to go through all this work. Is that what this is, Dillon? It's really worth it to go through all this?
There are some people that really don't like. I don't understand that mindset. Just let it happen naturally, and so some people are like very much against putting any type of order in their life. I bet that they're probably a hoarder. I wouldn't be surprised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
sorry, go ahead, Vinny.
The question at the end, though, what have you been able to offer your non-NP nesting partner that allows their relationship to feel equally valued? Well, it is a different relationship. This is a weird question. I guess
there's some people that are just in this mindset, and instead of letting it develop naturally, they are putting a lot of worry on the fact that their dynamic is changing. Like, this is kind of the polar opposite of monogamy. Oh my God, I have order in my relationships. What do I do?
Right.
I like order.
Okay. Well, let's talk about the types of things you have to deal with. I have a post here. Here it is. It's the grocery list. My girlfriend stays over around once a week. She likes creamer or milk in her coffee.
I'm sorry, Vinny.
Yeah.
But even in a topic like polyamory, you bring in food into it, huh?
Yeah, I know. But this one called out to me.
All right.
Okay.
I had to. Sorry.
She likes milk in her coffee. A few weeks ago, we didn't have any milk left and ended up grabbing some creamer powder from the pantry instead. A week later, I went grocery shopping, and my wife added French vanilla creamer to the list. I was a little confused. She'd been drinking her coffee black, but I grab it anyway. Next time my girlfriend stayed over, she saw and asked, "Did you get creamer just for me? I love French vanilla." I said, "Not exactly. My wife had put it on the list. Isn't that a funny coincidence?" I joked about this with my wife later. She says, "Oh, yeah. I asked her girlfriend what creamer she liked, and she said French vanilla." That's fucking weird, right? That's a little
open
weird.
Communication. That's just a very kind of average, a thoughtful wife. That obviously they're having this person come into their house, this other partner come into their house, and she does want her to feel at home when she's this woman is fucking her husband. So as weird a world this is that grocery list is very common in people who want their partner to feel comfortable.
Okay.
This is so beyond anything I've ever I could conceive of. It's that's I would not want want the guy.
I'm fucking floored by all of this.
Yeah, no. I don't want to help you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not buying you creamer, dude.
So
buy me creamer. It's my refrigerator.
Like, do you feel when you're in a relationship with somebody, like, do you have any jealousy? They're going back to their nesting partner. Do you have any of that at all? or is it just
That was the biggest thing I needed to overcome in that year, where it was introduced to me, and then I went through my own soul searching, and monogamous women that I got along with were chasing me away with a stick. So, all right, the jealousy was the biggest thing to get over. Absolutely.
Okay.
how do you get over like that? Just seems so instinctual. How do you get over jealousy?
Understanding where I fit in their life, the fact that pretty much everyone that I've met, I've fit into their life, not in the long term, but when we talk about it and really enjoy each other, let's just. I always say to women that I'm dating for the first time, that Kramer distracted me. Home run, Chippa.
Yes. It's too good not to put up.
I lost my train of thought of where I was.
It's all right. You know,
Great job, Nimrod. Nimrod.
You know what I'm thinking? I'm starting to understand. I feel like you're like a let the universe sort it out kind of a guy. Am I wrong there, Dillon?
Follow what the universe is telling you. And oh yeah, that's what I was talking about. Fitting into someone's life. Yeah. Seeing that I like to be an entertainer. I was an actor. That's what I put on my W-2 for 6 years. And I like to travel around. I'm in my wanderer phase, and being able to have an emotional relationship where I fit in your life for now. Oh yes. When first meeting someone, I say 6 months, let's reevaluate. We're casually dating 6 months. Let's reevaluate at that point. Because that's, just getting to know each other. Why put these expectations that this person who I adore that I met last week, we will be together years from now? No. Let's just have a great time for the 6 months, reevaluate 3 months, not a hard rule of when I put that on, but let's just naturally see, absolutely, where the universe leads us, see what trail that we seem to be pushed towards.
Just let it be. I guess that's the only way I can put it. Just let it be. What happens, and you're not gonna.
And you do need those difficult conversations. But yeah, as I said, me personally, let's have those difficult conversations in 3 months and 6 months. For this first opening part, we will figure out what we're going to say in those conversations of how we're going to take this forward or not.
So before you started this lifestyle and you were in just monogamous relationships, did you cheat? Did you
No, I got cheated on, and like, this is actually very antithetical from where I used to come from. I used to be into just having a relationship, just dating 2 women casually at once. I felt uncomfortable with. So yeah, this is actually very foreign to my natural, where I came from dating for years and years.
And you said you were cheated on.
Yes.
But never,
yeah, that absolutely broke me.
But was the person that you were with at the time, obviously it was the expectations were for it to be a monogamous relationship. And looking back on it, was that person also wanting to be polyamorous and you just didn't realize it then? Or was
she wanted to be more of a swinger? More of a swinger type. She wanted to fuck.
Okay.
I don't want to keep people like that around. Definitely. Shoo them away.
Look at one of the more uncomfortable posts that you sent us.
I am an honest whore. The dishonest whores I'm not a fan of. And yeah, most of these are fun. Here's something. There are situations you get in with multiple partners.
All right. This one says, do not do this to anyone. It is from 8 months ago. It was posted by Analyst Conscious 2944. They wrote, learn from my now ex-partner's mistake. Do not ever stop in the middle of sex with a partner, primary or secondary, who are you asked to go away with for the weekend, to check a text you get while being intimate. Leave it. If it's an emergency, they will fucking call you. Also, do not ever finish being intimate with a partner midway through sex because your partner decided they want to FaceTime you just to say hi. If it's not an emergency, they could wait and you should be okay to let them. ask them to wait. Otherwise, you shouldn't be in that other partner's bed to begin with. The level of hurt you can cause someone by acting this way is next level toxic. Don't do this to anyone.
Just poor judgment, like someone who will answer the phone during sex at monogamous or polyamorous will piss you the fuck off. So yeah, you're taking yourself out of a very intimate moment. This person's partner was to answer the telephone. Like this is us fucking and the.
But I think the
as I said-
implication is more that it's from the other partner,
Yes,
right? Like
and
you're choosing that other partner over the one you're currently inside of.
Yeah, that's even more hurt to be getting fucked and then seeing them talking to someone else, taking yourself out of this intimate moment and just taking it to the other partner. That's gives them very poor self-esteem to do that. Just very poor judgment.
Agreed. Cardiff, do you have a post you want to cover?
Yeah, I do. This is an interesting one. So partner wants non-hierarchy. I don't. What can we do? So what happens when you have now one is, again, this is a very, I'll call this fluid lifestyle, maybe. So what happens when you start to change and it doesn't align with, what your main partner wanted in the beginning? So where's that? Like, is there couples counseling for polyamorous people?
It's I would check
how do they
credentials.
figure that out?
I would want to see this therapist credentials of polyamorous counseling because this within the past, I guess 5, 6, 7 years, I've started hearing it more and more. This is still a foreign concept to most people. And relationships change. And as I said, I don't see myself ever as a non-hierarchical person. I enjoy order. So like this, for me, this is the start of me leaving or saying, well, I'll just be your non-primary because I do not want non-hierarchical in my life.
Yeah, so I'm going to read through this one. I'm in a relationship with a person. We've been together nearly 2 years. They've been openly poly the whole time, although just started having new partners recently. I'm mono. Okay, so this person monogamous. We live together, and they've described I'm the only partner they feel they want to live with. They've also described wanting non-hierarchical poly, though. So okay, hold on.
Like this is a double whammy. As I said, being one monogamous and one polyamorous, like this fellow, if I were him, I've got one foot out the door because clearly the partner wants so much different, and he's already tolerating the fact that his partner is polyamorous while he's monogamous, and now his partner's changing it up even more. Like if this were me, I feel like I'm being phased out at this point, especially if I was monogamous.
Yeah. You feel like you're being moved out of the bullpen.
Yes, sir.
So our next one here. What are some good practice and basic ethics of polyamory that newbies may not know? Oh, wait. We read this one.
Yep.
Yeah, but I want to hear it again because it was so... Why do I have that open twice? So here's a question, Dillon, from somewhere. We'll get your take on it. Is this inappropriate or invasive? Go. Oh, I should read it, shouldn't I?
Yeah, good call.
Oh, okay. My wife of 4 years is seeing a new guy. I hope somebody didn't just record that and clip it and use that against me somewhere. She's very much in love, and I'm happy for her. Recently in the morning, though, I was spooning her, and I noticed a scent. It took me a while, but I now realized her boyfriend had given her one of his shirts off his back, and she's wearing it to bed with me. I feel very uncomfortable with this for new reasons. One, I was not asked if I would be comfortable with this. Two, it feels like she's in a small way trying to insert himself. Seems like a small way trying to insert himself into my bedroom, leaving his mark per se. And three, I just don't like the idea of cuddling with my wife with the shirt with his shirt on her, particularly since I was not asked how I feel about it. Am I being
And
too sensitive?
Four, I don't know how to react to the guy who's having sex with my wife wearing Stetson.
Brute for men.
Yeah. Canoe. He's wearing
I'd veto
canoe.
him just on how he smells. Jesus, Stetson.
Am I the asshole?
What is happening?
Am I the asshole for
Backdoor? Am I
asking
the
not to
asshole?
Yes, we are back to am I the asshole for not wear this clothes to bed with me? Can you believe like this guy's wife is getting plowed by some other dude, but it's the shirt she wore to bed that bothers him. We are strange creatures.
It's not the fact that every time she comes back from a date with him, she's limping a little. It's the shirt. Okay. That's bothering him.
I'm on this guy's side, though. I'm okay with my significant other being plowed elsewhere.
It's a goddamn Bills jersey. That's the problem.
Oh, get out of my house. You get out of my wife.
But yeah, it's strange that there would be something. I guess it's not insignificant, but in comparison, like that's this guy's line, I guess. Like as long as nothing from that guy can enter this space. Like what you do out there is fine, but what you do in here is different. So
having like a little teddy bear of your other lover in bed with me, that I'm with this guy. I would have a problem with bringing a t-shirt of your other person in our bed. It's like, kind of like he's not jumping in our bed, but he is taking a piss on it to mark his territory, hoping to get in here. This, I'm absolutely with this poster. I've go and plow her out at your place, and don't send knickknacks back to my bed.
Are there rules? Like, again, I guess it's going to vary, but are there rules of whose bed can be used? Like,
yes. So, I was with a couple recently that had a guest bed, especially for the staying over partner, and some absolutely not in the house, over in your partner's house, not in here. But yeah, a guest bedroom. I would hope it's not next door to the master bedroom. That would be even worse.
I hope it doesn't have Hot Wheels blankets on it.
Well, they converted the room. The Hot Wheels blanket is no longer there. That was just an in-between time where they had the Hot Wheels blankets before they turned Junior's room into the swinger room or polyamory room. Look at me, even getting the two mixed up.
How dare you? I'm offended. Get rid of this liar.
Fucking hypocrite I am. I'm using swinger and polyamory interchangeably. Fucking hypocrite I am.
I believe the Jersey Shore people called the smush room.
Smush mush, yes.
Smush room. Yeah, that's interesting though. That it would be the shirt. That would be, the last nail in the coffin. This is it. So here's this next one. My boyfriend wants to sleep with women without telling them we're in a relationship. I think that's wrong. He thinks it's fine and says it'll be much harder to find women to sleep with if he tells them he already has a girlfriend. See, yeah, that's kind of hits the point I said. It's like it's so hard to find one. Now you got to find another one who's also okay with this, right?
Yeah, it sounds to me like if you get into this type of lifestyle, you want to,
Are you all fucking the same 7 people in America? Like, are there 7 of you and you're all just rotating around?
No, but I'm saying it's like you have to have these conversations with all of them. You're killing a lot of good time. You know what I mean? Like you have to go through and have these conversations. Or if you meet somebody that you're into and you want to have like a one night stand with them, that's kind of part of the fun of this, isn't it?
Preferably, I want to be open and honest about it, but I absolutely understand both sides. That the fact that I'm just trying to date. I'm dating casually, and there are no fish in the sea looking to date a married man casually when I'm upfront about it. And yeah, much prefer to be honest about it, but I absolutely see both sides to this one.
Okay.
Yeah, because yeah, it's strange. I guess he's thinking if my girlfriend doesn't have a problem with me being with other women, why? I'm not looking to marry anybody. I'm just looking for hookups. Why do they need to know?
which once again may be bothering her because we're in this polyamory. You're supposed to be having a
She's supposed to be
relationship
part
with
of
this
it.
woman, part of an emotional connection. You're out being a swinger here, not telling him the truth. So yeah, in establishing the rules, that can cause jealousy of treating your other partners like a swinger relationship and not being honest with them, rather than a polyamorous emotional relationship.
You know, Dillon, I'm listening to you talk here, and I'm hearing you kind of throw some shade at the term swinger. Why is that?
It's just a different thing, and I'm absolutely open to being a swinger. I am not a cuck myself, but I will be the bull. I will come in there, but it's just two different things. Swingers, no emotion, and polyamory, emotion is supposed to be involved in it. So it's just the absolute opposite. And since I'm not seeing anyone, I am throwing shade at swingers while being open to being either a swinger or polyamorous right now, since there's not as many polyamorous fish in this somewhere lake as the Los Angeles lake. I liked the amount of bites I was getting in that Los Angeles lake, but moved away.
By that
New
Great
thing.
Salt Lake. I don't know. I'm just making up things. I have no idea where you.
Well, now since we're talking about water, let's get to the super chats and the big kahunas. Chef Jeff, let's catch up a bit. Member for 4 months, FKB.
Bye, Brennan.
That drop. I don't work for you because I do this for love.
Light up the chat, folks. Let me see your FKBs. Get them out.
Jerry
Get 'em out.
$5. Dillon is kind of likable, but seriously, did California ruin your brain to think this is sane? You don't have to answer that, Dillon, but I want to hear
California got in and fiddle fucked with my brain, but I left before it completely ruined my brain.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Tiff, member for 3 months. Welcome. Thank you, FKB.
Bye, Brennan.
FKB. Brian Kowalczyk, member for 3 months. This guy sounds very sensitive and real. Great guest. Thank you, Brian Kowalczyk. Hack Ride. And of course, I'm talking about Vinny having no penis. Not even a super chat. I just felt it needed to come up.
This is what. Hold on a second. I need to address this.
Oh, you want me to put that back up on the screen?
Yeah. Hack Ride. Here's the deal. The void is vast, but there's a penis in there, sir. It exists.
Thank you, Hack Ride. Arcona member for 6 months. Wow, Arcona. How do people have time for this? That is, again, that's my. Have you ever watched The Sister Wives? I'm like, how does that guy do it? How do you have that many? Anyway, I'm not comparing you to polygamy, Dillon from somewhere. I know the difference now. Brian Kowalczyk, thanks for the 199. I enjoy effing a soft potato while the lady watches. Thank you. What if I was hard?
I don't know if that's a compliment.
A little harder to fuck.
Yes.
Aloha,
Brian
Big
Clotter.
Kahuna.
Big Kahuna for a month. Matt Fish, Big Kahuna for 2 months. Shout out to Just Joe and At Odds with Wrestling. Just Joe and At Odds with Wrestling. It's a great podcast. One of the best. Thank you, Just Joe and Matt Fish. Victim of Dillon, thanks for the $5. Dillon, is that you? I think this is the guy that touched me in a Build-A-Bear when I was little. I want Jimmy back. He makes us women feel safe. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a battle going on in our super chats for the next producer job here.
I kind of like how dirty Jimmy the Lip is playing. Jimmy the Lip's playing some dirty pool.
But if you want to be able to have your voice heard in choosing our next producer, become a Big Kahuna now. Rochi, thank you for the £2. This is batshit crazy. This is why Dillon is great. FKB.
Thank you, Rochi.
Brennan.
He is a regular viewer of my co-host audition show. Thank you, Rochi, for being a fan.
Rochi, you're great. And I just want to say, this is going to be the new normal, man. It's not crazy. This is like what a lot of people live their lives like. I mean, we're just learning about it.
We're just learning on subreddit surfing because that's what we do here. We learn. Dennis Michaels, thanks for the $5. Socrates said, every action has its pleasures and its price. Dillon, what price are you paying living this lifestyle? And are you comfortable with it? Great question. And great quote from Socrates.
The price I'm paying, as I said, right now I'm a solo poly in an area, and I'm very open about it, in an area that doesn't have as many polyamorous people. So I'm just on a solo journey, not just a solo polyamory journey. And yeah, it just got to be okay being alone. But I was a late bloomer in dating, so I learned to be alone just back from my early 20s when I was an incel before I figured out how to not be.
Yeah, if you're an incel, switch to poly. Just stop it.
Yes.
Switch over to poly. It's better.
And
Just-
for the record,
flip the switch. Just change teams.
It took a few years to flip that switch, guys. So be patient. Work on yourself.
thank you. And just to be clear, anyone who's going to be chatting this, I know it's Socrates. It was a Bill and Ted reference, jackass.
Dennis Michaels, that was a phenomenal question. Thanks for watching and
great
thanks
question.
for contributing.
Turbo Neil Breen, thanks for the 499. Completely antithetical to tonight's stream. It's my wife's birthday. Please wish he a happy birthday. Happy birthday.
Birthday, he.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Turbo, hope your son's doing better too.
Yes, we do. Brian Kowalczyk, thanks for the 999. She's great. Once we added the fourth wife, it started to get complex. I'm just one man, high sex drive, but 4 women, not to mention the compound is getting packed, so I'm getting eyes. What do I do?
That sounds like a polygamy question.
Yes.
Well, I would advise at this point, once you have kids starting to pile up on top of each other and 4 women who are looking to you all the time, fake your own death.
Mm-hmm. Get a good insurance policy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Nimrob 71, thanks for the 49. On a similar note, last night on Wendy's show, she shared that she dreamed she had a 4-way with Tukey's, Cardiff, and OJ in a jacuzzi tub.
Make it happen.
Honored. American Cupcake member for Cardiff Ender for 2. Big Kahuna for 2 months. Dillon asking for a friend. You want me to put it back up? You want to read it? You want me to read it again?
Hold on. I want to be like KB. I need to send that to somebody. Hold on. I got to pull up my phone.
Yeah, can't take a screenshot. Must take a picture with your phone.
Okay. American Cupcake's been a Big Kahuna for 2 months. Dillon asking for a friend. Would a couple looking for a threesome for fun, would you consider that swinging FKB?
By Brennan.
Just looking for fun. Unicorn hunters are a big thing, and thruples. Getting things more difficult. We didn't touch on thruples tonight. I didn't pull any of those. That is also a thing in the world of polyamory, where obviously someone's bisexual in there in that thruple. Who is a couple with 3 people. That is also a thing. I know a stand-up out in Los Angeles.
I believe when we had Christian Blatt on, he had a story for a thruple that came up in something we were looking at. Last one, Kinky Loco, member for 6 months. Great job by both contestants. Whoever doesn't win should be a monthly guest. Yes. Unpaid.
Wow. Yeah, of course.
It's okay.
Money for only one.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry. Paid. You pay us.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the loser has to pay the winner producer. Yes.
The loser is paying the winner's salary. Oh, shit.
Yeah,
you keep changing this contest on me.
And you know what? Now that we've established that, winner's getting a raise.
Yay, maybe?
Yeah, it could be you.
Yay, I hope.
But you have to pay both Vinny and myself an 80% tax individually.
80% of what?
Of their pay.
Oh, perfect.
Back to us. So we're actually going to make money on this.
Yeah, it was a good move on our
part.
What
a Ponzi scheme we've come up with here.
We're geniuses.
All right, Vinny.
So, yes, Cardiff.
Oh, you had a question?
No, I was just saying yes to you.
Huh. Yeah, but now that you've stopped the show.
I didn't stop the show.
You're stopping it.
I'm not stopping it.
Could be me.
Did you stop the show?
Yes.
All right. Well, then I guess the show is stopped.
My wife had a boyfriend. Won't let me have a girlfriend. A little backstory: I've been married quite a few years. I've had a couple affairs over that time and found out that my wife had an affair during our marriage as well. So these guys weren't polyamorous, they were monogamous but cheating.
Yeah, fucking around on both ends.
All right. After the dust settles from the latest discovery, she decided that she wanted to have a poly relationship with her previous lover. Here's the deal: she wants devotion from us, and herself is devoted to just us. We seem to work well together. So, are they doing a three? We seem to work well together as three, but it's more of me and the other guy working in tandem to satisfy her needs.
And she wants to throw another guy in the mix.
Thus far, my needs with her alone are being met, and I do not get jealous, but for as often as she sees him, she sees me 90% of the time. She says she has no intentions of leaving me for him, but we've both agreed that there are just some things emotionally that I cannot provide that the other guy can, and vice versa. Now, here's the catch. She wants total devotion from the two of us, meaning we can't explore other relationships. So neither one of the guys, according to this woman, can step out.
Huh. I feel
So,
like she has a lot of entitlement here.
yes. We might have seen her on Karen, one of the Karen episodes.
Wouldn't it be great if this was the blobfish?
She had two men wrapped around those fat, stubby fingers.
Now you two ain't allowed to date nobody else, or I'll call the police.
Thank you, Vinny, for making sure Blobfish did get a mention today. Never forget. Blobfish.
You got it.
This feels a little too restrictive at times, but again, my needs are being met. I have a hang up on what others think of me. A little bit, meaning I feel the world looks down on me in this arrangement, and that I should just be able to have a girlfriend if my wife has a boyfriend. All in the name of fairness, I guess. I don't know. Does the world look at me less of a man? Then again, fuck the world.
Coming from a polyamorous man, yes. This sounds like a dominatrix type relationship. Either she wants to be the female polygamist, or she's really into kink and domination. That's what one of the two sounds like to me, of asking for an unfair polyamorous relationship like that is either polygamy, or she's like a dominatrix type who really wants to dominate both of these guys.
Yeah, there seems like she is kind of getting off on this power dynamic somehow, right?
Polyblobbers. Thank you, Nimrod71. You even get The legend of Blobfish only grows on season 2.
Rob 71, you're slowly becoming one of my favorite people on the internet. I want you to know that from the bottom of my fat pig heart.
And Blobfish can have many more partners in a Blobfish gangbang because she has roles, extra roles, not just holes.
That is true. What happens in a polyamorous relationship when someone's pregnant?
Does everyone have to raise the baby at that point?
If it's a throuple, then yes, it's a baby of a throuple. Coming this fall to NBC, the throuple and the baby.
Yeah, how are accidental pregnancies that I guess go to term, like where they actually have the baby? Who raised? Is there a DNA test done, or is it just assumed this is going to be the child of the nesting partner?
I have not heard of this scenario, because very often the primary partner will be the only one, like, not using protection, and the only one where even with protection, you are allowed to finish here, go finish over there, go finish on my shoulder or something, not here. That's very common with relationships with the non-primary.
It's not 100% protection, Dillon, from somewhere.
No, it isn't. It's a leaky faucet.
It's not your thing, dude. Relax.
Yeah, maybe it would be like the bonobos, and they just raise them like a community. I have not run into that scenario myself from anyone I've known.
Interesting. Apparently, you're a weirdo. Thank you for the $1.99 gut. This guy.
I can't deny that. That is absolute fact. You can see me being weird over on my channel. I am a weirdo, guilty as charged.
And Pulper80 has become one of the newest big kahunas. I'm warning y'all, the show's wrapping up soon, so your chance to become a big kahuna is...
Oh, don't tell people that. You can become a big kahuna anytime. If you're
That's
watching
true.
this episode after
24/7.
live, all you have to do is hit join the channel, and you too can have an extra inch and
24/7
have
access.
some say in who we keep around these parts. If it's the weirdo or if it's the other guy who plays dirty. We got the dirty player and we got the weirdo. It's quite an interesting
I
choice.
actually asked the people in my Discord not to play dirty earlier. I should have known the gloves were off. Yes,
what a sweet boy. What a sweet boy you are, Dillon.
Yes, one of the
He's only saying that so that he can claim culpability when Jimmy the Lips' house is burned down.
Yeah,
I told them not to do anything dirty.
Yeah, I'll show you, victim of Dillon.
Dillon from somewhere, this next post. How do I get over the ick factor? My husband's FW. What's an FWB? What did I miss here?
Friend with benefits. This is maybe closer to a swinger relationship than a polyamorous, but they're posting here.
Did they get attacked posting here?
The polyamory community is very friendly. I would be surprised if they got attacked on there. I'm sure there is lots of good advice underneath this.
Who is a very close friend of mine disclosed some details about the way he treats her in bed. And while I have known that this is preferred sexual energy, rough and primal, is not very cohesive with mine, I didn't really know to the degree that she described. And even though I told her I don't think we can talk about this, it's giving me a total ick factor about him, and laid a boundary with her. I can't unknow this information, and now I feel... But again, isn't this the point of what you said this is?
He had this kink inside him this entire time.
Yeah.
But his primary partner was not into it, so he didn't reveal it. So yeah, it coming out later, she just thought she knew all his sexual things, but really he realized where her limit was and didn't let her know. And it is really bothering her that that he goes here.
How do I erase this knowledge from my brain and not be totally disgusted by him? Well, do you know how we talked about Socrates earlier?
Socrates, yes.
Sometimes it's the price you pay. Sometimes it's the price of admission. That's to be the name of my book, by the way. The Price of Admission. Because that's really what everything is.
Dillon from somewhere.
Good stuff.
Sorry, Vinny. Okay. Let's sit and drink coffee. No, I thought you were done. You had longer pauses than normal. I'm trying to figure you out. Dillon from somewhere. When are you writing a book? Because you seem like you've had quite an interesting life.
Well, being that I was a Los Angeles phony for 8 years, I write scripts. So I've got plenty of scripts. I was trained to write prose in creative writing classes. So I would need to get back to that. But being that I was in Los Angeles so long, my default form is now writing things in script form. And I do enjoy creating a fictional narrative, world building and everything. So rather than an actual advice book or anything, an advice book, I would have I want to tell one of my stories. David Chandler, if you ever want to send those super chats and make a pilot or make a movie, I've got some scripts for you.
We don't like grifters around here.
I thought it was the grifting time as we were wrapping up.
Oh, that's all right. That's fine. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have some interesting news for you. Carter,
what's that, Vinny?
The post to vote is about to go live.
I do have one more question from Dillon somewhere.
Okay. Well, let's do that before we put it live. So just be ready, everybody in the chat.
Ready.
Now's the time. Join now.
Join now. But also this week, join as well.
Sign up.
Never stop joining. ABJ. Always be joining. Can somebody put that in the chat? ABJ. So I have to ask your opinion on this one, Dillon, because the third word in this sentence, I'm already confused. I'm a hinge. My partners are dating each other, but what's a hinge?
Okay, so the hinge is, we mentioned the term meta earlier. The meta is the partner of your partner. The hinge you're in a relationship with these two people. I am the hinge between these two people. I am in a relationship with these two people, but they are not in a relationship.
Okay.
Got it. I think.
Interesting.
This person dates the hinge, dates this person.
Okay.
Both dating the hinge, not dating each other.
Got it. Okay. I'm a hinge. My partners are dating each other, but aren't they? But aren't they play video games? So he's saying their partners are doing all these things, but they're saying they're not dating. So in polyamory, is this considered acceptable? They have a relationship with each other. They play video games together. They talk about video games coming up that they're excited for. They regularly text each other pictures of me, memes. Like they're almost sharing her.
Like it's a bromance. Like they're best friends. Like
Yeah.
this is like a dream scenario for so many polyamorous couples that we're both dating the same woman. We're cool with each other, and holy shit, we're so cool. We're just hanging out all the time.
Is this the dream for a lot of poly people? Like they want this. They want a relationship with both. Like they get I get a girl and I get a best friend.
Yeah, like this is a dream scenario. I would love to be either the primary or the secondary partner here in finding someone fucking my wife who I'm also best friends with. Let's talk about how to fuck my wife better, shall we, buddy?
Wow.
And they're not even talking about that. Look at all the things they've got together. Sending
each other
pictures of her
gifts.
is just a little bit of that.
They say I
dynamic.
love you, man, to each other. This is these dudes are in a relationship.
They team up to playfully tease me. Yeah, they don't have to be dating each other to be friends. What a weird perspective from her.
Wow. Dillon from somewhere. We've learned something tonight, I think.
You know, I feel like one of these days we might be able to touch on this again. I feel like there's a lot to learn there and a lot we didn't get to, but
yeah, and I did have a guest. She texted me about 15 minutes in. She's been under the weather, just feels very sick tonight. So I did work on getting a guest, but I picked a subject which I have some insight into in case something like this happened, because my goodness, I did not think finding a guest would be this hard. But I see why you're looking for a producer, and just showing off what I can do if things go sideways with the guest. That I can fill in. I've got a small list of things that I could come in and talk about as the backup. Oh shit, we want to have a guest. Okay, I can be the one to talk to help you find your way through this forest of a subreddit.
Is our prospective guest, would she be watching right now?
I don't believe she is. She probably went right back to sleep. She's been feeling like shit for the past few days.
Because I have some things to. No, I would never.
Well, I need to take a second real quick and just say thank you to a couple people in the chat right now. I want to shout out to Plumper, one of our newer people. Pulper 80 also gifted 5 memberships.
Thank you, Pulper 80.
As well as Radish Diff gifted 10 subreddit surfing memberships tonight.
Thank
you,
if you Radish
Diff. Receive memberships on and you haven't become a member yet, there's a good chance that these guys may have just helped you out so you could vote.
Mm-hmm. Padding the voting probably for Dillon from somewhere.
Okay.
Rochi?
I got good news, folks. I'm putting up the poll right now, and I'm going to show you all what it looks like, just so you know.
Before you do that, Rochi, thanks for the £2. Newcomers Radish want you to vote for Dillon, FKB.
Bye, Brandon.
If pops into my co-host auditions, I do a live stream Sundays through Thursdays, 11:30 a.m. Eastern, and co-host auditions is a lot of fun. I call it the grandchild of Jocktober, and we're offering advice. I want to be your co-host on your established show, so I can get money immediately. So that's co-host auditions, and I have a TikTok show on my channel, Dillon from Somewhere, and if you would like me to produce your show, I would. This is a lot of fun. Anyone else? Obviously, may or may not get this
for
one.
A new job, Vinny.
I'm like, oh, dude, you didn't lose yet.
Just
I'm looking for a career pivot. I do need like 4 shows under my belt in order to make this my current career and not have an actual job.
So you're looking for us to just be your stepping stone, huh?
I would like to be part of the team for a long time.
I heard what you said, Dylan, from somewhere.
I would like to be part of this team and about 3 other teams so I can pay my bills with producing podcasts and vodcasts.
American Cupcake, thanks for the $2. ABJ, always be joining, is always welcome, and we some AFKB.
Okay. Cardiff.
Bye, Brennan.
Here's what the poll is going to say. Who should be our new producer? Jimmy the Lip, Dillon from somewhere, or hire them both?
Oh, hire them both. How dare you, Vinny, put such controversy into the minds.
Oh, I just did. Let's see what happens. So, folks, you could vote now if you're a member. Jump on there. Let's see what's
vote now. Vote often. Get fake accounts to vote with. That's all encouraged, but you got to join. You got to become a member. Like Pulper, thank you for the $2. Thanks, Radish, for gifting 10 memberships. Wow, using a super chat to thank somebody for gifting a membership. That is a great financial decision for us. Thank you.
So far, congratulations. Hire them both is at 100%. That ain't happening though. So,
that would be
that tie.
Oh, 33. It's still a tie. That would be so hilarious if hire them both or a tie got the win.
All right. So listen, we are going to close this off. I believe Sunday around noon. So we'll know who the winner is, and we will make an announcement this upcoming week, and we will give that person plenty of notice so we can start working on the next episode, or come what may. Dillon, I want to say thank you to you tonight, my friend. Really top-notch. Great talking to you. Great to learn all about you. And thank you for giving us such interesting perspective on the topic, on polyamory.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. And yeah, if I'm back again, I do have guests that couldn't make it, and I'm hoping to be able to fill that in. Big points to Jimmy the Lip for finding someone to fill in yesterday. Last week. But I do believe I was a good guest. Let me just pat myself on the back there.
All right.
This vote will be a referendum on guest or no guest for the format of the show.
Yes, I will. I've worked hard on getting a guest, and it was a goddamn sickness that took this one out at the last minute.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks, children. It's not as easy as it looks. I had a lot more hair when I started trying to book guests for this show last season.
Get lost, Cardiff. Dillon, we'll talk to you soon, my man. Take care.
That was great.
Godspeed.
Great job.
Cardiff, my man, how do you want to close today's show out?
Well, I just want to close today's show out by letting people know, vote now, because as soon as I see the vote going the way I want it, I'm shutting it down.
So you have no control over it.
That is true. Well, I'll demand that you shut it down.
You can demand all you want. I don't listen to you.
Yes. We should talk about our sponsor, though. We have a great new sponsor for the show that we haven't.
StutteringJohnLive.com.
StutteringJohnLive.com, March 10th. Where, Vinny?
Rochester, New York, at Comedy at the Carlson. And Cardiff, John asked me to open for him. And I said, I think Cardiff should have that honor.
No, don't make me write a set, too. All my jokes are his.
I already told him. He also offered to write jokes for you.
I'll take that offer.
Okay.
I will do a set. I will open with whatever John puts in front of me.
Okay. Perfect. You know what we did on March 10th is give John the opportunity to do an evening with Stuttering John, whatever that show is. We gave him a canvas and handed him a paintbrush. Mm-hmm. Whatever that becomes, it's going to be his vision. So hope
it'll be a work of art.
It'll be absolutely. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week on Subreddit Surfing. Cardiff, adios.
Surf's up, Vinny.
Surf's up, Cardiff.